data, right? So guys, many people are asking how to get the large file data. I already told you, right, in the directory. In the directory, you can take this large file for ASC.dev2 and orders data 0303. So this contains a large data. Okay. And yesterday, whatever we have covered, right, the headers are not coming. If you are not adding in the before read file segments, we are added one more action. So that action will not have headers, right? So sorry, because of that, headers not coming. Because of that, I added one more write condition. So first headers will be moved, then data will be migrated. So if you want, you can verify now. Others data. And this orders data. So we added the headers only for department title, right? So remaining columns we have not added. That is the reason it is not coming. So remaining things are data. So if you put this header information inside the read file segments with chunks, so every 2000 records, so this data will be printed. So that is the reason. So before read file segments with chunks only, we added a write file operation. Understand, right? This one. Hmm? So far, whatever we have completed, I will just give the recap. Okay. First, we have discussed about the REST integration, concatenation of two numbers. Sorry, concatenation of two strings. FTP integration. Just file copy from one location to one FTP to another FTP. FTP integration, just file copy from one FTP to another FTP. No data. Yeah. In this example, we have not covered no data, only file. And the second example, FTP integration only. FTP integration, CSV file with date from one FTP to another FTP. FTP integration, CSV file with data from one FTP to another FTP. One FTP to another FTP. And in this example, we have covered how to handle large file data. In this example, we have covered how to handle large file data and with chunks. Chunks means multiple files. So we have covered how to handle how to handle large file data with single file using append existing file. So this is what we have covered, guys. Any question you can ask me. Now we will see another requirement. The end user will pass the payload to REST integration, and post operation will execute and save the data to Oracle ATP tables. The end user will pass the payload to the REST integration, and post operation will execute and save the data into Oracle ATP tables. So what data client will send this data in the JSON format. So this is not scheduled integration. So end user will pass this payload to the REST integration. And then it will save the data into Oracle tables. So it is not only single table, guys, multiple tables involved. The department table and employee table. In the department table, department number is the primary key. Employee table, department number is the foreign key. In employee table, we have mentioned employee number also. Employee number, primary in employee table, employee number, primary key. So I have designed the table structure here. I have mentioned in the running notes. Mr. Rama. Okay. So first we will create these tables in ATP database. We'll create this table in the ATP database. Then we will access these tables from where? OIC integration, and store the data into these tables. Okay. So now what we will do, we are going to SQL. So let's create the tables. Same names already there in the ATP. That is the reason I'm using different name. is GPT 0603 0603. Department number, department information, constraint. Okay. Create table. So
Sir, letters very small. Please increase the size.
okay. I will put this in the notepad, okay?
Okay, sir.
On this one. Comment on. One minute, guys. Sorry, guys. Okay. So let's run this table. Okay. So in employee table, employee number primary key. this department number here, stream this one. Okay. And this one. Okay, so two tables we have created. So I will keep this in the notepad. Okay, so now guys, tell me in this requirement, how many connections required?
Two connections, employee 603 and department 603.
Connections.
Two.
So how many connections required? Tell me the connection names.
Department number, department and employee.
Connections I am asking, not tables. Connection I'm asking, not tables. Hmm. So REST connection, right? And where you need to send the data, this one. ATP, right? ATP connection. So REST connection will create the REST integration, right? So the REST integration will pick up this payload and we are storing the data into ATP tables. So this is the ATP database. So we need to create the two connections, REST connection and ATP connection. So from the ATP connection, we are going to store the data into these two tables. Connection names I asked, not table names. If you give the ATP connections, then we will save the data and we will store the data into ATP tables by using this connection. Okay. Now in the REST connection, you tell me trigger or invoke. So which one is trigger and which one is invoke here in these two connections?
REST connection is trigger.
Correct. ATP connection?
Invoke.
Invoke.
Correct answer. Okay. So in the REST connection trigger, do we have to pass any parameter or not?
We have to pass the payload.
Parameters or payload?
Payload.
Okay. I will come to your point only. So if you go to the OER, cloud application, go to the financials, integrate, review REST API services. So guys, here if you look at this one, bank REST integration, bank REST API. If you take the post method, if you take the create bank post method, here do we have to, did we pass any parameter? Sorry, did Oracle pass any parameter? No, right? So did Oracle? So what do you mean by parameter here? So for example, if you see get a bank, so this is called parameters. So when you say create a bank, create the data to the table, do we have to pass the parameter or payload? See here, if you look at this one, it is not passing this REST endpoint, not passing any parameter, right? When the parameter passing means it indicates like this. So create a bank. So there is no parameter, right? Correct or not? No, no parameters. We need to We need to pass the payload. No parameters, we need to pass the payload. We need to pass the payload. Okay. So now which kind of integration we need to take? Schedule or application?
Application.
Application.
Application integration. Application integration we need to take. So end user will pass the payload to the REST integration, and post operation will execute and save the data into Oracle ATP table. Okay. So now we are going to start the integration development. First, we will create the two connections. First, we will create the two connections. REST connection, DB, REST trigger, REST trigger, DB, payload, any name you can give. I'm taking as the trigger. I'm taking as the trigger. I'm not going to use the invoke for this one. You can't create. And then we need to create one more connection that is for ATP. So create one more connection. So create REST connection completed. So I'm going to create the ATP connection. So for ATP connection, we require the wallet. For ATP connection, you search here ATP. Oracle ATP. ATP database. Trigger and invoke I'm taking. Create. I'm not using the trigger, but invoke is required. So you can use the invoke also, that's fine. So you can use both also, that's not a problem. So use the trigger and invoke. Upload the wallet here. Upload the wallet. Upload the wallet. Upload database username. Database username. Admin. Service password. The password for the ATP. Private data 1 to 3 4. Test. And password. host name, service name, dev ATP gen 2 underscore hi, dev ATP gen 2 underscore hi, test. Nothing, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, right? Oh, so guys, hope you have ATP details right or not?
No, say.
ATP details you don't have?
No, I didn't attend the C12 classes.
Okay. I am posting the details in the group. Okay. Just a minute.
Okay.
I'm posting.
Thank you.
Check your WhatsApp group.
Yeah, received on.
Okay.
Thank you.
So guys, ATP connection, do you want to show once again? It is clear.
Yeah, one more time.
Okay. So click on plus, huh? Search here. ATP, huh? Here you can mention something. Just I am showing once again, right?
Mhm.
Just any name you can give. Here you can upload the wallet, huh? Upload the wallet. Upload. Wallet password I have shared. Huh? Wallet password I have shared. Database service username username is admin. Database password I have shared. The optional parameters host name is there, na? This host name. If you look at this one in the this is the sorry service name is there, dev ATP gen 2 underscore hi. That
Okay.
you need to mention. Sorry, that you need to mention the service name. Test. That's it. Huh?
Done. Thank
Okay. This one not creating. So at this moment, any question I can ask? Now we have created the REST connection and we have created the database connection. So this is not required. I am removing this. Okay. So now I am creating the integration. Create the integration. Create application integration I am creating. So what we will do, day 25, day 50, EMP, REST, EMP. Any name you can do. REST integration. Click on create. So guys, now take this one. Now you tell me guys, here in the plus icon, do I have to take REST or ATP?
Rest.
REST is correct. So click the REST trigger employee department payload. REST trigger EMP payload. So in the next example, we will see this option, guys. In the next example, we will see this option. multiple REST endpoints, how to use. In the next example, I will cover this one. We can continue. Insert DBDMP. So what is the resource we need to use? Name we can use. Now this is the important reason. Now you tell me which method I need to use. Which method I need to use?
Post method.
Post method again, correct. And we have to pass any parameter? Tell me guys, in these three, which one I need to
We
select?
are not passing any parameter. We are passing only payload.
So that is the reason I am asking which option I need to select here. First or second or third or all three?
Second one. Configure a request payload to the endpoint.
Correct. What about this one?
Yes, we need response also, right?
Response.
What response you want to give? What
It is
response
a
you want?
valid payload or not?
No, we will, if you want, we can say that response status completed, inserted successfully, like that we can put. So the purpose of receive the response, we will see in the next example. Okay. So we are going to pass a payload. So that payload will be pick up the data at the employee department data, and then it will insert into table. So, okay. Continue. Insert on department. Again, we need to slash account. So remember guys, so if I am not using this checkbox, I will tell you what will happen in the integration. If I use the checkbox, if I click the checkbox, what will happen in the integration? I will tell you both. Okay. Continue. Okay. For example, okay. I will not use this one. Continue. JSON sample payload we need to pass, right? So how the end user will send the structure of the payload. So that we need to tell, right? So you remember when we upload the CSV file, we have uploaded the sample data, right? So every time when you are receiving the data, so we need to upload the sample file. Sample data we need to pass. Or you can go to the inline. So whatever the sample payload I have given, right? So whatever the sample payload I have given, you can take this one. Like this. No. JSON payload. Okay. So it will create the structure. So did you observe guys? If I am not using that checkbox, the response is not coming at response. Did you observe or not? So only request payload it is taking, right? So when we see the first example, concatenation of the two strings, I have mentioned the checkbox response also, right? Response also, right? So that time response configuration came or not? So now response configuration not coming. Why? Because we have not checked that checkbox. Did you understand that point? Click on finish. So when we are not configuring the response, so here this is coming, right? When we are not configuring the response, so it is not showing that what is that? It is not showing that response icon, right? Did you observe or not? Hello.
Sir, you also clicked response checkbox.
No, I have not clicked that. Did I click?
Okay.
So if I click the response here, the response symbol will be different.
The arrow mark, left
Arrow
arrow
mark,
mark.
some arrow kind of mark will come. Understand, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the response we will cover in the next requirement. So in this example, I am not showing the response for the database insert. So basically, database when you get the data from this REST when you get the data from in this integration, that time we will use the REST. That time we will use the response, but we are not going to get any response, right? So we will take the payload from the external system, and that will pick up as a trigger, and it will insert the data. And we don't want to get any response. So when we will get the response, if you want to get the data from the integration, that time we will use this REST response. Got it, right? In which case we will use this one. No. Now, so what is the next step we need to hear, guys? Here our payload ready. So here the payload response will come here. Trigger will give the response, right? So now what is the next step we need to do?
Add connection.
What is the next step?
Map the REST integration also.
No, not correct. Here ATP database we need to take, right? We need to store the data, right? Not okay. So now what we will do? Insert. So this is the DB operations. So every connection will have some information, right? So for example, REST integration, what options, what information will be there, what options available, get all, post, patch, right? For REST, for ATP, for database, this many options available. Store procedure, run, select statement, perform an operation. So now which one I need to select here? Store procedure, select statement, perform an operation table. Which one I need to take?
Perform an operation and it take.
Perform an operation. What operation I need to take? Insert, update, or insert, update, let's select. Insert. Insert. So what is the schema name? Admin schema. What is the table name? So what is the table name? What is the table name? There is a table name. Like this. Select this one. Import tables. Import tables. Import tables. So one table I added. I am going to add one more table, that is for employee table. Okay. One table added. I am adding one more table, that is for employee. And you're following, right? Employee table.
EMP068.
That. Okay. And we need to maintain the relationship also, right? So if you want to maintain the relationship, click on edit. So relationship, create new. Parent table is department, child table is employee. So now I want to give the one-to-many relationship. One-to-many relationship. One department, multiple employees. Okay. And what is the common column? Department number. In the department table, we have department number, employee table, department number. So this kind of relationship we need to create. Department table, department number, employee table, department number. Understand or not? Continue. Continue. So here we have a payload columns. Here we have a DB columns. So now how we are going to give the link your payload data to this table? How we are going to give the link between this payload to the table? How we can do that? Anyone can tell? So we have payload data, and here we have tables are there. How we are going to give the link between this payload to these tables?
In the mapper, we need to map.
Yeah, correct. Mapper.
We need to map JSON columns to table column.
So whatever the JSON request payload is there, na? Here department and here employees. Guys, if you observe here, department, it is coming repeating frame, right? Employee also repeating frame. Why it is coming? Anyone can guess? That is the reason when we upload the payload, so it is not single record, right? Department I have added multiple. Department one record. This is the second record. This is the third record. If you use only one payload, for example, department, I will use only this much. Then this repeating frame will not come here. This repeating frame will not come. So that is the reason. So payload client will send multiple records, right? One department, multiple employees, multiple departments, multiple employees, right? So that is the reason I added like this. So why it is coming multiple? You understand or not? For your testing purpose, you in the payload you add only one record, so you will not get the repeating frame. But in case in the future client will send multiple records, then it will not work out. That is the reason. So payload also you have to pass multiple records so that repeating frame option will come. So you can use like this: department number, department name, location, in employee collection also. This. Okay. Employee number, employee name, account name, manager name, salary, 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 salary. Understand, right? So whatever the payload you are passing it, that payload data I'm sending into the table. This is the table. If you have multiple departments, it will iterate one by one. So when you are doing the mapping, this one, for each loop will be added. If I click the accessibility, for each loop will be added. So what for each loop will do? It will first run one record and it will related child records will be added and it will insert. And if you observe one more thing guys here, in employee table, there is no department number column, right? In employee table, we have department number column or not? But in the table level, it is not showing. Why it is not showing? Anyone can tell? In employee table, it is not in the mapper department number column. It is not showing. Why it is not showing?
Because in the payload, if one department has one employee, multiple employees or one employee, so that will take it and insert.
No. Payload level, we have not changed anything, right?
Okay.
See, table level, it is not in. See, in the table level, department number column is there or not in the table level? You tell me.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
in the mapper, it is not showing. Why? So because while you configure this employee department table in the ATP adapter, ATP connection, or invoke, we have given link, right? Did you observe or not? Master detail link.
Yes, already created.
Already we have created the link, right? That is the reason the department number option not coming. So that link will be take the value from the department number from the department table here. Department number data it will take here. Did you observe or not? I will show you once again. We have given the relationship or not?
We
So
have
because
given
of
the
that
list.
relationship department number column it is not showing here. I will show you
Parent
that.
relationship we have given.
Yeah, we are given right here. If you look at this one. If you edit the relationship, this one, this relationship we have given, so that is the reason we are not able to see the column in the mapper. Save the changes. So as usual, error will come. If you want to print one of the column, we can print by using department number here. Save the changes. So the integration done, we will need to test. We'll see tomorrow.